The Dundee Derby is back with a bang in the Premiership, and it finished Dundee United 2, Dundee 2, in probably the best game of football we've seen this season. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football, and yes, there hasn't been many games that we've seen this season, but I think Dundee United, Dundee is certainly top of the list. A great game of football, back and forth action. United, I think, definitely shaded the first half. Dundee probably shaded the second half. Therefore, the 2-2 scoreline is probably a fair result.
It probably is a fair result. Great game, cracking game of football. This is a sort of game you don't need a bet on to enjoy. Dundee's the city of discovery, and today I discovered that both the Dundee clubs would probably give Hearts or Rangers a game at the minute.
Yeah, well, we've seen Dundee last year. You know, they gave they multiple good performances. Were tough to beat. The big teams found them difficult as well, and Dundee United look a hell of a lot better than I thought they would. If they can keep this up, then both of these sides could be pushing for top six.
Is this the advantage of the Premier Sports Cup, where you can get a few competitive games under your belt? Because I tell you what, it's night and day. Obviously didn't watch the Motherwell Ross County game. We will watch the highlights soon. But when you actually compare both sets of games, I think Dundee United would smoke Rangers or Hearts.
Well, I don't know about that, but it's a derby game as well, so I think both clubs were up for it. We haven't seen this fixture in over 2 full seasons, plus Dundee United just coming straight up from the Championship, their first game back in the Premiership. You add in all those elements, and I think that's why we got such a good game. Plus, it almost felt like a neutral venue considering the amount of Dundee fans that were in the stadium as well. So I think that certainly helped. And at times when Dundee United were on top, you heard the Dundee United fans. When Dundee got on top, you heard the Dundee fans. It was just a great game of football. I'm sure not just for the city of Dundee, but for the neutrals watching it as well. And I've always talked about this fixture. I know it doesn't really get the sort of credit that it should, or the spotlight that it should. And I mean, in Scotland, there pretty much only is one game that is ever really talked about, and that, of course, is Celtic Rangers, and then Hearts Hibs is the secondary derby. But I think this is an underrated derby, and I'm glad that we've got it back in the league. And it's one of those fixtures that when you see going into the weekend, you probably look forward to it more than any other game.
No, I agree. A lot of eyes would have been on this. It's on Sky. There's no other football really on today apart from the Scottish Premiership. So I think this would have been an eye-opener for a lot of people. Packed out stadium and two teams playing very attacking football. Alright, yeah, defending, right, it wasn't exactly Maldini, but I'm not expecting it to be Maldini. At least the two teams went for it.
Yeah, and just back on the game being televised, but just one moment. I hope that going forward, they look at this game, Sky Sports, Premium Sports, and they go, right, okay, this is a great fixture. Every time these two teams meet in the league or in the cup, we have to televise this game, because we've seen too often over the years, the Dundee Derby hasn't been on TV, the Edinburgh Derby hasn't been on TV, and for me, that's not good enough. You know, we don't have that many derbies to begin with at the top end of Scottish football, so I think it's very important that the ones we do have we're showcasing, because you see today these games really can produce. So I think whenever we get Dundee United in the fixture list, it has to be on telly.
It has to be on telly. You got to use them up, man. You get 4 a season, maybe 3 if the one goes into the split. But this was good. This was great. The day. I mean, this put, as I said, the game yesterday to shame.
It did. No, it did. I mean, you look at yesterday, no goals scored across 180 minutes of those 2 games, and then today we have 4 goals in, you know, one of the better derby matches across all teams. You know, if I think of derby matches that I've seen, this is probably one of the best ones in a long time. So yeah, there was quality there as well. Let's talk about the game. I think United were the better team at the beginning. They created a couple of chances, then they got the goal. Pretty poor defending. United picked the ball up just about in the Dundee United final third. The ball got slotted to Trabanovsky, who finished it. Good goal. Wasn't great for Dundee at the back, but it was a good goal for Dundee United, a good finish from Trabanovsky nonetheless. But 5 minutes later, Dundee responded quickly, and as soon as United got in front, you felt like Dundee just took over straight away. Dundee United fans, though, they were singing, they were on top, and then Dundee quickly shut them down. When they responded, Simon Murray out in the left came in, hit a shot at the goalkeeper. Keeper saved it, but he could only palm it to Palmer, and Palmer Holden tapped it home, made it 1-1, and then the Dundee United fans, they just shut up, and then it was the Dundee fans that were on top, and they were chanting, and we're only 18 minutes into the game, but hell, before Dundee could enjoy being on top, Dundee United retake the lead, and it was a great goal. Miller Thompson taps it in. I mean, yes, it doesn't look great as a tap in, but the first time cross was phenomenal from Fico Sevje, who I believe they just signed this season. The ball gets played out to him. He's on the right hand side. Ball gets played out to him, I believe, by, I think it was it Miller? Or was it, no, Travanowski? It might have been Travanowski. He plays it out to Sievko and or Sevje, or whatever the guy's called. Fuck it, right? He's got some weird sounding European name, but screw it. First time cross in towards the 6 yard box. I mean, difficult pass to play, but he played it to perfection. Miller was there to tap it home. Couldn't really miss. And Dundee United, a couple of minutes after conceding an equaliser, go back in front. So yeah, we're 20 minutes in here. We've got 2 goals. Great game of football. And you just knew that from this point onwards, it wasn't going to finish 2-1. The only thing that surprised me was that there was only 4 goals. I thought we would have got more than just another goal from this point.
I thought we could have got more goals as well, but just exciting wing play for both clubs. I'm seeing players here like Travanowski, Van der Sanden, players for Dundee that you could see them moving on within a year, man. Because this was real. I mean, we're not talking like, yeah, the defending was a bit poor, but that third Dundee, the third goal of the game for Dundee United. See the play, man. That was brilliant movement. Yeah, it's a tap in, but it was like Kyogo-esque. And that's, that puts a lot of praise on him if I'm saying Kyogo-esque. Yeah. Actual movement for wingers is good to see.
And the first time balling, I thought it was quality. That's so hard to play that pass, yet, played it to perfection. Half an hour mark with more great play from United. Ferry on the left-hand side, just cutting open. A couple of Dundee players came in from the wide position, plays it into the box. I think he was playing it for Miller, but Miller ended up leaving it, and Bumaninski took it up, and he put it just past the post, and he kind of dragged it wide, but a great chance here, and Babanuski probably wishes that he had hit the target, because I think he should for this position. I mean, yeah, he's about maybe 18 yards out, and there's not many defenders in front of him, so, I mean, he had a pretty open shot at goal, and he put it wide. That was pretty poor, and then we had Miller again breaking through from the right-hand side. Miller, I believe, only 17, and yeah, Miller Thompson forced a good save from the goalkeeper McCracken, and Dundee United 2-1 up, definitely went into half-time on top, and looking more likely to go 3-1 up rather than Dundee get that equaliser. But Dundee did come into the game a bit more in the second half. They created chances, had a few corners, few opportunities for that. Dundee United also had a chance on the counter. I believe it was Travanowski again, lifted it over McCracken, but it was, I believe, McGowan who tracked back just to clear it off the line in time. There was a check for a potential penalty with the contact on Travanowski, but it looks like the goalkeeper caught him just outside the box. Although no free kick was given, that was a big chance for Dundee United to get the goal. And then Dundee do equalise through a penalty. Murray got the ball played up to him, then he was taken out. Bad tackle on the ankle. Initially, it was deemed offside. However, VAR looked at it. It was onside. They drew the lines, and then it was the referee's job to go and check VAR. And it was a pretty easy call for him to make. It also followed up with a yellow card. And then McGowan calmly took the penalty, and he put it past the keeper to make it 2-2. So I think Dundee probably deserved that goal at that point. After that, we had a McCowan free kick, 84th minute, pretty easily saved by the goalkeeper. Walton then made another huge save from Murray, but Murray was in an offside position. And then speaking of Murray, a couple minutes later again, he put another cross in from the left-hand side into Main, who somehow managed to just put the ball over the crossbar. Now, there was a bit of pressure for the Dundee United defender. You can argue that's what caused him to miss, but really from there, that's unforgivable. I mean, if the keeper saves it, fair enough, but you have to hit the target from there. Dundee United finished with the last chance of the game, really. Ball came into the box. There was a call for a penalty, but in the end you can see there was a blatant elbow, and that kind of came before the potential foul in the box. So it ended 2-2. I think Dundee United, for larger parts of the game, were the better side, but towards the end, Dundee were creating a lot of good chances, and they could have scored a lot more than one goal just in that final 15 minutes. So when you factor that in, I'd say 2-2, probably a fair result. Dundee United, I think, controlled the game and dominated the game more, but Dundee, towards the end, had a lot more chances and better chances. So I'd say 2-2, a draw, 1 point each is pretty fair. And I think it's also a good result for both teams. Dundee United coming back up will not have wanted to have lost. Dundee United going to their rivals away from home opening game of the season as well. I think both teams would have took a point and both teams got a point. So I think this was a good game of football and the fair result.
Great game of football. I mean, look at the depth, though, that both teams have got. Bringing on Main.
Molt.
Yeah, Molt. Bringing on Kai Fovrum, who I think is pretty good. Odada, he did miss last chance of the game. Free header about, 8 yards out. Gotta do better. Could have won it for Dundee United. He didn't. But, yeah, I mean, I think both these teams, you know what? If I could probably redo my prediction. I know it's just one game, but Dundee United look a lot better than I thought they would. And I put them 10th. I'm not saying I'm going to put them third or something, but they look like they've got a lot. There's a reason why people are going to put Dundee United above like Ross County and St Johnstone. These two clubs just look way better.
I'm going to be honest, I wouldn't really change my prediction. Dundee United were really good today, but like I said, first game back up, newly promoted against Dundee, first derby game in over 2 years. I think they were obviously going to be up for today's game. I would maybe move them up one place above Motherwell from what I've seen.
Yeah.
But I still think that, unfortunately, both clubs will fall short of top six. And that's nothing against them because, I mean, they showed today they can play good football and be involved in good matches. But I just think at the top end, there's not many places I would say are up for grabs in the top six. Obviously, the Old Firm will be there. Hearts will be there. I expect Kilmarnock to be there. Aberdeen will have to improve. They should always be there. And then realistically, that's leaving you one spot. And I'd say St Mirren are probably favourites for that spot. But you've also got Hibernian, who the size of that club should be in the top six as well. So if Dundee or Dundee United do get into the top six again this season, it will be a fantastic year for them. I think it's going to be tough, but I don't think either of these teams will go down. Put it that way.
No, they won't go down. It's a draw. St Mirren Hibs are drawing. Will Celtic Kelly draw? It's just draws.
Could you if we get 6 draws, would that be the first time ever we've had 6 draws across the opening day, or any fixture, any?
I think it would be across any match day. Maybe once upon a time back in like 1800s or something, but
and at the moment,
so rare.
I believe it would put Dundee top. I think Dundee would be top in terms of alphabetical order.
Yeah,
they scored 2 goals, and I think they're ahead of United in alphabetical order because United's a double barrel name, really.
No, Dundee United are actually top.
Really?
Yeah.
Strange. Is it because they scored first? I can't imagine so.
Must be, because I don't see any other reason. Rangers are actually last as it stands, in terms of the teams that have played games.
Well, there you go, guys. Rangers are last. How long will that last? Who knows? But yeah, great game of football here, and looking forward to seeing how Dundee United and Dundee perform in the rest of the year. But that's it. We'll catch you in the next one. Till then, player ratings coming soon. Peace.